if you want to get permanent, if you want to maintain that, you have to be planted and you have to be rooted in a local church. Psalms chapter 1 says, he who, come on, Psalms chapter 1, how come you guys don't know? కీర్తనలు ఒకటి ఎవరికి తెలీదా? దుష్టుల ఆలోచన చెప్పక నడవక. Verse 3, come to verse 3, Psalms 1 verse 3, it says, Psalms chapter 1 verse 3, it says, they are like the trees. It does not say they are like plants, because plants one day pluck out here, plant there. Okay, one hot day will come, the plant will die. Plants are very delicate. They are very not permanent. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if you want to grow mature in your spirituality, you have to be like a tree. You have to be planted. You have to be rooted. You can take my phone. Here. You can. Okay. So they are like a trees planted along the river bank bearing fruit. You got it? Right? You got it? So why don't we all pray for Teja? Okay, wherever you are, you just pray for Teja, and let's all pray for Teja, okay? Yeah, let's all stretch out our hands and we'll pray. Father Lord, thank you very much for this day. And in fact, I did not ask him to share his testimony. He only messaged me. He said, Anna, I want to share my testimony. It's because, there is a song, it's bubbling, it's bubbling, it's bubbling in my soul. How many know that song? Oh my God, you guys don't know the song. Bubbling, it's bubbling, it's bubbling, it's bubbling in my soul. I'm dancing, I'm singing, for Jesus made me whole. Folks don't understand it, nor can I keep it quiet, because it's bubbling, it's bubbling, it's bubbling in my heart. So when the gospel is bubbling in your heart, you cannot keep it quiet. So you just say, I want to share with somebody. So I think that's what happened with Teja. So let's all pray for Teja, okay? Father Lord, thank you very much for this day. I pray that, Father, whatever you have in your store, in terms of healing, in terms of revelation, in terms of promotion, in terms of advancement, whatever it is, Lord, in terms of discipleship, in terms of fellowship, in terms of championship, Lord, I pray that, Father, Teja will be a bearer and a banner that will champion the cause and the will that you have put in his life. I pray that, Father, whatever you have commissioned him to do, Lord, whatever you have ordained him to do, he will run in faith towards it. He will not give up, Father. I pray that, Father, there will be no weapon that is formed against him will ever prosper. I pray for his health. I pray for his work. I pray for the team members that he's working with. I pray for his sphere of influence. Lord, let him be like the sun who lights up the entire team. Let him be like the moon who lights up the entire team. But Father, let him never give up, Father. Let him always be an ordinance of the Lord that will rise up and it will fall down in the time that it has been ordained unto him. I pray that, Father, Teja will move into a more prophetic advancement of his life, where he can receive of the kingdom principles, where he can receive of the kingdom benefits. And I pray that, Father, no word, nothing that he has ever spoken shall be evil that has ever been spoken shall take root in his life. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay, next time inside, comes inside, don't let them go out, okay? Because especially after we start service, they cannot come in and do all. Anyway, how many of you are excited to learn something today? Well, let's go to Psalms chapter 30, okay? Let's go to, no, not Psalms chapter 30. 1 Samuel chapter 30. 1 Samuel chapter 30. This is what I started to feel and started to believe, okay? I started to feel and started to believe that we have gotten, especially the Christians, right? We have gotten so used to being robbed. Ante, you have gotten so used to people taking advantage of you, or people stealing from you, or the devil robbing your peace, or all of these things, that you feel like it is a normal part of life. Listen to me carefully, okay, all the boys and all the devil. See, the devil right now, he's stealing from people. The other day I shared this in my dad's church. Not sure if I shared this here. There is a lady who called up and he said, you know what, I've never worked my entire life because I've married a very good man. That man provided for me all my life. That man worked a very good job. He was a very rich. Family has been taken care of. My children have been taken care of. Their school has been taken care of. But now I think we are going to get divorced. I don't know what to do because I need to figure out something, and I've never worked in my entire life. That's what she's saying. So now and she's Christian and he is also believer and all of that. And the pastor will ask, what's up? Why divorce suddenly? Is your husband a bad guy? She says, no, my husband is not a bad guy. He's a very good guy. I say, what's up with the divorce? And she says, after all these years of marriage, maybe 15, 20 years of marriage, says, I want to become a girl. He says, I want to change my gender. So he could not, it's a very big shock, you know. So now the devil can come and steal a person's identity. The people who are born today and the people who are living today, they don't know who they are. They don't know if they are male, female. They don't know if they are God called or they are not called. They don't know if they are saved or not saved. This is the thing. The reason people feel like that is because they are not fathered. Ante variki oka kapari ledu. They are not shepherded. You understand? They are not protected. So any thought that is coming into their heads, right? The devil is just planting them. So I told you the other day, a few days, how the devil will work, you know. He'll come to somebody, let's say suddenly Manashe is singing, right? Nowadays. So the devil will come and tell to Manashe, hey Mane, not the devil, somebody in the church only, you know, come and tell to Mane, hey Mane, you're singing so well, you know, why don't you lead? Now, is that a compliment or is that a thought? Compliment. So it's a compliment, but there is a thought in the backside of it, right? So there was a pastor. It seems this pastor went on a holiday. He called the assistant pastor to preach, and the assistant pastor was preaching that day. So some lady came to him and said, wow, pastor, you preach so well, you know, I think you should be our senior pastor. Now this fellow, after a few days, he started thinking, why am I not the senior pastor? You understand? The devil, he'll not just compliment you, he'll try to put something in your brain that will keep you unsettled. So people are being stolen of their identity. Okay, credit card people will call. You know how many people I know who have taken loan from these apps, some Spark app. What else? Slice. That means you've taken it. So the thing is, why do people want to give you free money? Not because on the day of your trouble, they will come and trouble you more. These creditors, right? Why are they calling me and telling me, I want to increase your credit, I want to increase your credit payment? Why all that nonsense? You want to increase my credit limit because you think me, and in the day of my trouble, you'll trouble me more. First of all, they create the trouble by giving you. This is why you should not take the food that strangers give you, because nothing is free, right? Nothing is free. Why are they giving you money? Why is the devil giving you compliments? This is why I tell everybody, don't even believe in compliments. Somebody tells you, you look good, you say, okay, whatever. Don't say, wow, thank you. Don't say. People are so selfish. You take a selfie, who is the first person you look at in the selfie? Yourself, right? You don't care. If you are fine in the photo, then the photo is good. If other people are all crying and you're only smiling, still the photo good. See, that's what happens, okay? So we've gotten as Christians so used to being robbed. We've gotten so used to being, our peace is stolen, our debt, our financial positions are stolen from us. We are born into debt. People who get married, they put like 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs loan and they get married. Very bad habits. You want to get married, I'm telling you, even if your marriage is in Samskruti hotel, I will come. I don't care as long as you don't put loan, that's good. But this loan, all these things are not from God. These are from the... Where else does the devil steal you and they rob you? You know, in education, the devil steals you and robs you. Opportunities will be closed because of the devil. There are so many opportunities that Christians are not getting because the devil has closed these opportunities. In fact, you know what is the worst thing, and the worst thing that the devil does to some people, the Christians, is he will steal their purpose. He will steal their purpose. So that this Christian will wake up in the morning, he'll go to work, she'll go to work, cook, eat, but they don't know what they're doing in their life. They have no purpose. They have no destination. They have no spiritual ordination. I'm telling you, right? Everything that you see, everything that you touch, and everything that you feel is temporary. The permanent things are the things you don't see. The permanent things are the things you don't see. Spirituality is permanent. Do you know that spirituality can be inherited by your parents? If me and Prasanna are spiritual, this spirituality that we carry will benefit my daughter. Okay, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'll tell you a little bit of more of spirituality in a while, okay, in about 20-30 minutes. But the devil steals, okay. He steals and we have gotten used to it. We don't fight back. We don't take authority in prayer. We don't take authority in the word of God. Prasanna was just telling me in the car, Sharat, you know what is the best way of reading the Bible? I said, no, what is the best way? She said, stare at it. I said, wow, you have to stare at it. Prasanna says, if you want to study the Bible properly, you want to stare at it. How long do we stare at the Bible? We don't, because we have gotten so used to working for other things that we neglect the one thing that we need to do. Good. So 1 Samuel chapter 30, some devil will come to steal from David. The devil will come to steal from David. Can somebody read 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 1? 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 1. Now it happened when, okay, what is that? NLT, okay. 3 days later, when David and his men arrived home at their own town of Ziklag. Now where are David living? Come on guys, tell me, where is David living? Come on guys, come on. Where is David living? Okay, one more time, where is David living? Ziklag is his town. Kada, Zefi? He's living in this town called Ziklag. They found, after 3 days when they came back to their hometown, David found that the Amalekites had made a raid into the Negev and Ziklag. They have crushed Ziklag and they have burnt it to the ground. Now this is David's place. This is David's town. David has been living here with about 600 people, 600 men. 600 men are living with David. How many men? Good. I love that. I love when you respond. How many men? How many days later the 600 men came? What happened to Ziklag? It's burnt and it is crushed. Good. It is burnt and it has been crushed. What did the Amalekites do? They carried off women, children and everyone else, but without killing anyone. Yeah. What happened? Tell me. What happened? What did the Amalekites do? Come on guys. What did the Amalekites do? They carried off women, children and everything else, but they didn't kill anybody. So when David and all of his men, they saw the ruins and they realized what happened to the families, they wept until they could not weep no more. Until how much did they cry? They cried how much? They cried a lot, right? They cried until they could not weep no more. So David's 2 wives, all of these people have been taken captive. Now next, verse 6. David now was in great danger because all his men were very bitter about losing the sons and daughters. And they began to talk about stoning him. Whom did they want to kill? You see, when the devil steals from you, when the devil robs you of opportunities and he robs you of your money, he robs you of your finances, he robs you of your purpose, you start getting angry. You become so moody, you get angry with other people, You had a bad day at work. Where do you shout? In the house. You have a bad day in the finance, in the market, something bad happened to you. Where do you take out your anger? You take it out on your wife, your husband. You take it out on your children. You take it out on your friends. What did David do? And I'll tell you another thing. You know why why the Amalekites raided David's town? You know why they did that? Because the men were absent. The men were not there. All of you men who are sitting here, you are called to be fathers. You are called to be protectors. You are called to be a man who stands with his family. But whenever you are not there with your family, the devil can steal very easily, You understand what I'm trying to say? The team can come and sit here, so that we can make space for other people if they do come. Anyway, David was in grave danger because the people wanted to do what? Come on, guys. People wanted to do? They wanted to stone him. David was in great danger, but David found strength in the Lord his God. Where did David find strength? Did David call his other friend? Did he put a status? Did David start liking all reels? Sharing reels? No, right? All this nonsense he didn't do. Where did he go? He went to God. If you are finding your place where the devil has stolen from you, if the devil has robbed you, you know where you can go? You can go to Psalms chapter 23. You can see, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leads me beside still waters. He makes me lie down in your green pastures. Next, he says, his rod and his staff, they comfort and they protect me. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because it cannot harm me. His goodness and his mercy will follow me all the days of my life. Another psalm, you can read Psalm chapter 27. You can read Psalms chapter 28. You can read Psalms chapter 49. You can read Psalms chapter 72. Psalms chapter 91. These are all the psalms that God has put for people who are not happy in their hearts. These are the psalms that God has given you. When you are weak, you can go into the Bible. Don't need to go on Google. And David strengthened himself in the Lord. Then David said to, is it there in your Bibles? David strengthened himself in the Lord. Chapter 30 verse 6 is there. David strengthened himself in the Lord. How many of you strengthen yourself in God? I'm not sure, Many, that's what I'm telling you. We have gotten so used to not doing the Bible, to not listening to sermons, to not listening to worship. Sometimes suddenly the devil can steal our peace. One day we'll feel very unsettling inside our hearts. Sometimes the devil does that to me. I feel like I'm going to write my board exams. Do you ever the feeling when you're going to write exams, your whole stomach is cold? Huh? Even without the fan, in the summertime, the exam is there, no? And still you'll feel cold. Like, the feeling? Suddenly I'll have that feeling. I know immediately I need to strengthen myself in the Lord. What? Then David calls the high priest. Verse 7. David said to Abiathar, bring me the ephod. You know what is the ephod? The ephod is the garment that the high priest will wear. Ephod is the garment that the high priest will wear. He says, Abiathar, bring me the ephod. So Abiathar brought it. He brought it to David, it will say. And then David asked the Lord, should I chase these band of raiders? Will I catch them? And the Lord said to him, yes, go after them. You will surely recover everything that was taken from you. There are some things that you must recover when the devil steals from you. There are some things that you need to go and chase. People will pray for things and they expect things to fall into the lap. Cannot, Things will not fall into your lap. I was talking to my friend the other day. What happened? Some things I have to say with the mic off. Because God knows who's listening. You can just mute my mic number 8. Come on. Many people know they're so lazy like that. They don't want to do the right thing because they are lazy. So David will ask God, Lord, actually verse 7, very interesting, because nobody else is supposed to wear the ephod. But then David will tell, bring me the ephod. And David in NKJV, anybody has NKJV? You have NKJV? It says, and Abiathar brought the ephod to David. So I think maybe David was wearing the ephod. I don't know. It does not give me the clarity. We don't know, okay? And then David will ask the Lord. The Lord will say, yes, David, you go. Verse, come on, quickly, we have no time. Verse 8, then David says, then he will say, go, you will surely recover them all. And David, now next, verse 9. David went, he and how many men? How many men? Excellent, guys. He and 600 men who were with him. And they came to this brook Bezor, where those stayed who were left behind. NKJV, can you put it? Okay, 10, come to 10, come to 10, come to 10. But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 people. What happened? They stayed back. Why did they stay back? Because they were weary and they could not cross the brook. Now listen to me. Why were they weary? Show them, why were they weary? Why were they tired? Because they had no, who took the food? The enemies took the food. They have no food. Do they have water? No water. Do they have money? No. Do they have their wife to give them emotional support? Children? Nothing. 200 people, what happened to them? They are exhausted and they said, you know what? I cannot cross the thing. So David says, no problem, I will cross. 400 people will go. Next. Suddenly, in the middle, they see, the movie is going on, movie is happening. Enemies told, David asked God, David is crossing. Now suddenly one extra character comes into the movie, The Egyptian. Now come 11. Then they suddenly found an Egyptian in the field. They found an Egyptian in the field. God knows who put that Egyptian there. And they brought him to David. And they gave him what? Do they have bread first of all? They gave him out of whatever they don't have. They gave him bread. And then he ate. And they gave him what? Good. Next. And then after that they gave him piece of cake. First of all, enemy stole from you. No bread, no water, nothing. But now this Egyptian gets cake. After that, what does he get? 2 clusters of. Then what happened? So when he had eaten and his strength has come back to him, for he had not eaten bread nor drunk water for the 3 days and 3 nights. Same with these people also. And David said to this Egyptian fellow, who do you belong to and where are you from? And he said, I am actually from Egypt, but I am also a servant of an Amalekite. Me behind 3 days ago because I fell sick. That's what he says. Then he says, we made an invasion on the southern area and we burned Ziklag with fire. Who is this fellow? This guy is the one who burnt in David's camp, right? Who brought this guy here? See, this is the craziness of the Lord. If you are willing to pursue what the devil stole from you, the Lord will put opportunities in your way for you to go and get. You understand what I'm trying to say? If Prasanna says, you know what, I am now ready. How can the devil steal my health? How can the devil steal my money? That's what I'm telling all of my young friends here. I told everybody, please, at least once a month, 5,000 rupees you save. You put mutual funds from now. Because the devil is after you. One devil is Swiggy. One devil is Zomato. One devil is movie. One devil is what? Amazon. He's had some experience with Amazon. And what are other devils? One other devil is the friend. He'll say, Rara, chai ragam. You understand what I'm trying to say? You put some 5,000 rupees aside. That's what I'm telling all my friends here. Next time you want to buy phone, laptop, don't take it on EMI. Even though you have the confidence to do it. Don't let the devil steal from you, Don't do all that. Me and Prasanna, we went to Singapore and we came back and we did quite a few shopping. This is my personal story, okay? I'm going a little bit off track. And then we came back home and I said, Pras, you know what? 2 months, let's not do anything. Let's not eat outside. Let's not do anything, I said. And for the last 20 days, we've eaten outside only a few times. And then I was telling, you know what? This is pretty good. I like to eat birakai. I don't mind it. It's pretty good. So young people know the devil is after your money, and suddenly by the time you come to your marriage, your parents have to give money. And how will they give money? They'll put loan. Not good. Now at least you save at least 2-3 lakhs for your wedding, 2-3 lakhs for the wedding shopping, and then get married in some place, some Skruti hotel. Don't go play 1,000 rupees per plate, 2,000 rupees per plate, 800 rupees, 500 rupees per plate. And you'll end up just spending so much money for people who don't even. And you know what people will do? They will come to your wedding and they'll give you 500 rupees gift. When they'll bring 7 people with them, You invited one person. You can take your call outside. You can take your call outside, okay? So 7 people will. So I called Manashe. Will Manashe alone come to the wedding? He'll come with 7 people. So 7, let's say one plate is 500 rupees. Now how much money for Manashe's company? 3,500. Now how much gift will Manashe give me? 500. Now for me, loss or profit, you tell. That's what I'm telling, If you are going to a wedding also, don't take 500 rupees as gift. You at least count, okay, 7 people, okay, 7 people, how many plates? 7 plates, sometimes 8 plates, 9 plates, plate change. All that philosophy will be there. You give at least your plates karcha to the couple. You understand what I'm trying to say? Anyway, let's come back. So they found this Egyptian. The Egyptian, he'll say, I am the one who put fire on Ziklag. Now David will not say, I am the person from Ziklag. He'll not say all that. He'll say, can you take me, verse 15, can you take me to this person directly? And the person will say, swear to me, once I take you, you will not give me to my master. And he'll say, okay, fine, whatever. Verse 16, and when he had brought him down there, they were all spread out over the land, eating and drinking and dancing, because of all the great spoil which they had taken from the land of Judah. The devil will dance on your wealth. He'll steal this 18%, 20% interest from you, and he'll be drinking and dancing. And then David attacked them. From twilight until the evening of the next day, not a single man escaped except for 400 young men who rode off on camels, okay? And then David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away. Come 19. And nothing of theirs was lacking, either small or great, sons or daughters, spoil, or anything which they had taken from David. They have recovered them. You understand? They recovered them all. Turn to your neighbor and say, I am going to recover everything. I will recover all. If you have to recover all, you have to go to war. If you want to recover something, you have to go to war. Now, excellent. Next verse. Then David took all of these flocks, all of that, okay? And he said, this is David's spoil. Now, David came to the 200 men who had been weary and they did not follow David. They were too tired, right? They could not come with David. And then they greeted them. That's what is the last line. He greeted them. Next, verse 22. Then all the wicked and the worthless men who went with him. I love this in Telugu. Telugulo unna chadavandi evara daggara 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 22. Then all the wicked and the worthless men of those who went with David. See now, how many people went with David for war? First of all, these 400 people, they did work, right? What is the Bible calling the people who went to work? Okay, in Telugulo? అంటే వాళ్ళు చేసిందే పని. వాళ్ళు పని చేశారు కానీ వాళ్ళు పనికి మానోళ్ళు అంట. You know why they are పనికి మానోళ్ళు? You know why they are wicked and worthless? Because they are saying to David, they are telling David, these 200 people, they did not come to war with me, right? They said, I'm too tired. They did not come to war, right? So we will not give them anything from what we have stolen or what we have recovered. We will not give them anything. Because obviously Amalekites, they destroyed so many other towns. David is now extremely rich. He was extremely poor, didn't have food. Then now he's extremely rich. Then he will say, will not give them anything else except for his own wife and children, so that they may lead them away and depart. Okay, you understand? So if you think that you don't want to share of your spoil, listen to me carefully. If you think that you don't want to share of the blessing of the Lord, you're wicked, you know. A tree's fruit. Who eats a tree's fruit? Tree does not eat, right? Did you ever see mango tree eating its own fruit? Who eats mango trees? All the people with the stones, they eat, you know. You got it? Next. Then David will say, hello, don't do all that nonsense. Because who has given the victory? He'll say, my brothers, you shall not do like this with what the Lord has given you. These 400 people are feeling like I went to war. I got it. David is saying, no, 400 people, not like that. The Lord has given you the recovery. The Lord has given you the restoration. He has given you. You went to war, I understand. You did the faith walk, I understand. You walked the walk of faith, I understand. You sowed your seed, I understand. You gave an offering, I understand. But it's not you who gives the reward. For it is the Lord who has given us and preserved us in all of that. Next. For who will heed you in this matter? But as his part is who goes down to the battle. NLT, can you put NLT? Anybody has NLT right now to read? Yeah, read. 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 24. Who will listen when you talk like this? We share and we share it alike. Those who go to the battle. So the people who went to battle and the people who don't go to battle, they get an equal share. This is the mercy of the Lord, you know. Listen to me carefully. Sometimes your father might be faithful. Because of your father, entire family will be blessed. The man who went to war, go to war. Both will be blessed alike. You understand? But somebody must go to war. In your whole family, you say, no, none of us will go. Nothing like that. Okay, God said in the Bible, look at the bird in the sky. They neither sow nor they do nothing. They neither work nor they toil. And yet I will feed them. God said he will feed all these birds. But God is not going and putting one magical worm in the nest every time. The bird has to go to war. It has to fly. It has to work a little. Now I want to show you Numbers chapter 30. You have some time? Do you have some time? Numbers chapter 30. Moses also. Numbers chapter 30. Numbers chapter 31. Numbers chapter 31. Numbers chapter 31. Verse 2. It says, the Lord will say to Moses, the Lord said to Moses, Midianites for the children of Israel. Afterward, you shall be gathered together with your people. Okay. Now the Moses, go and take vengeance. The same way that David went to war, he war with the Midianites. Now come to verse 25. Verse 25. Now the Lord, first of all, actually I'm going very quickly because these people, the Israelites, they will go to war with the Midianites. They will steal everything. Okay, actually I'll show you the verse. Come on. Verse 9. NLT, are you reading? Verse 9 NLT. And the Israelite army captured the Midianite women, the children. They seized their cattle, the flocks, and all their wealth as plunder. They have gotten everything. So now Israel again is rich. Okay, now come to chapter 2, verse 25. Then the Lord said to Moses, Moses, you and Eleazar the priest and the family of the elders of each tribe are to make a list of the plunder that has been taken in the battle, including everything. Now verse 27. Then divide the plunder into two parts and give one half to the people who went to battle and the other half to the people. So these rest of the people are resting. Rest of the people don't go to war. The rest of the people do something else. So half goes to the people who went to war, half goes to the people who didn't go to war. But you know, if you don't go to war, the half also you don't get, you know. So now here's the thing. Moses will call, verse chapter 20, Numbers chapter 20, Numbers chapter 31, verse 3. Moses called the people and he appointed 1,000 people per tribe. Look at it. Can somebody see? Next, verse 4. From each tribe of Israel, God is saying, send 1,000 men into the battle. So, every family, every house must have a representative who goes to war. Now, this is my challenge to you all. You know how many sons of Jacob became the governor? How many sons of Jacob became governor? One. Because of one Joseph, what happened to the entire tribe of Israel? They were all fed during famine. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because of one Joseph, entire Israel is fed. Because of 1,000 people, entire Israel is blessed. Because of one Jesus, entire world is blessed. Romans chapter 5. As for Adam, sin entered the world. So with Jesus, grace entered into the world. One Jesus. Jesus went to war. You don't have to go to war. Joseph went to become governor. You don't have to become governor. But here is the problem. Nobody is going to war. The problem is this. We are missing the 1,000 people. We are missing people in leadership. We are missing people who will represent. We are missing people war. We are missing the 400 people. And people, once they do back, they will say, I don't want to share with my tribe. Problem, you know. Come back to 1 Samuel chapter 30. Did David have anything when he fed the Egyptians? 1 Samuel chapter 30. Now I'll ask you important questions. This is very important now. 1 Samuel chapter 30. Verse 9. Not 9, sorry. 11. When David found this Egyptian, everything from David has been stolen, right? Listen to me carefully, guys. This is the meat. This is the punch of the sermon. This is the place where it gets a whack in your face. Did David have any money when he found the Egyptian? One man was giving an interview. I don't know if this is a scripted interview or if it's a real interview. I don't know. So one man will be giving interview. He'll be telling, I don't believe in people getting so rich, you know. I don't believe in capitalism, he'll be saying. Why don't you believe in capitalism, he'll ask. I don't believe in capitalism because the rich, they got so rich. Look at this man's house. And they will show the rich man's house. The rich man's house is so huge. So many cars. So huge, you know. And nice swimming pool, basketball court. Amazing the house looks. He will say, look at this rich man, how rich he's living. And there are so many hungry people. He can give no. He's saying, I don't believe in capitalism. I believe that there should be an equal sharing of wealth. This man is saying in the interview. And as he's sharing, as he's saying, I believe that there should be an equal sharing of wealth. One beggar lady will come to him and ask for money. He'll say, hey, child, go. Do you understand what I said? Did you understand what I said? You didn't understand? Anybody didn't understand? This fellow is saying, look at them. They should not have this much money. And when he finds people who don't have money, he is only sending them off. What is the difference between you and that guy? No? So anyway, now David has no money and then no food, no water. He finds an Egyptian, and what is the first thing that David does? Feeds and he ministers to that man. Immediately after he ministers to that man, David fights the war and he wins it. You know what happens after David fights the war and he wins it? He will come back, he will take the money that he got and he will give it to the people who didn't come to war. You got it? First, no money, then give. Then second, you have money, then give. And then third, chapter 20, verse 26. Now when David went to Ziklag, David, what did he do? He sent part of the plunder to the elders of Judah who were his friends. And he said to them, here is a present for you taken from the Lord's You know how many people David sent gifts like this to? Read on. The gifts were sent to the people of the following towns. David had visited Bethel, Ramoth, Negev. What is the next one? Okay, then Aror something. Then Ziphmoth, Eshtimua. Then Rakal, the towns of Kenites, the towns of Hormah, the towns of Borashan. Then next, come on, verse 30, Sushma. At all, whatever, so many towns. Okay, then Hebron and all the places, other places David and his men has visited. You know why David started giving off? Because he knows that if I don't release what I have right now, if I am not faithful in what I don't, you don't have a job now, let's say, the devil stole your health, devil stole everything. In the place of weakness, if you are still able to give to the Lord, I'm telling you, God cannot hold his blessing. The lady will come to Jesus. No, the lady will come to Elijah and she'll say, Elijah, this is a small bread and small oil. Me and my son, we are going to make some bread with this and we'll drink it and we'll eat it and we'll die. Elijah will say, you first give me and then you see about yourself. What will she do? She will give, because she figured, anyway, I'm going to die, And she gave to Elijah. You know what happened? Not a single oil, the dough, they don't dry out the entire famine time. Elisha will come to one lady's house. She will say, my husband is not a good man. He made a lot of debts. He made a lot of problem for me and he died. Now all the creditors and all, they are coming to my house. They are banging my door and they are telling they will take my sons away from me. They are telling they will go and take away. See, this is what happens when the father and the man in the house is not strong, All of you men, you must be strong in the Lord. You must be a protector of your family. You must take good decisions. That man does not take good decisions. He died. Elisha will come to her and she'll say, what do you have now? Now what you have? She'll say, I have some oil. Then let's say, good, let's use that oil. And then he'll say, bring all the vessels, put one drop in everything. And as she put it, if you have this much oil and you start putting one drop is nothing, It will basically dry out. So you might think it's wasting. But no, in God's mind, it's not. It is trusting in the Lord. You got it what I'm saying? You're trusting in the Lord. Trusting in the Lord. And then she puts one drop, multiplies like anything. The boy, Jesus will say, does anybody have any food here? I want to feed 5,000 people. He will come, five bread and 2 pieces of fish. You give what you have. David understood. I gave out of what I don't have to the Egyptian. That's why I recovered everything. And now that I recovered and I have, I'm going to give in my abundance. How much he gave to his friends, that's why David had a son whose name is Solomon. And what is Solomon known for? He's the richest man to have ever lived on the face of earth. Not because Solomon, because of the spirituality that his father has stored up for his own son. This is what I'm trying to challenge you today. I hope that what I'm seeing in front of me are the people who go to war. I hope that you are the 1,000 people that Moses selected. I hope that you are the 400 people that David selected. So that you don't just sit here and warm your chair. That you don't just sit in the church and go home. You don't just see Instagram. I pray that you will have financial wisdom. You'll put mutual funds. You'll start knowing which stock to buy. You'll save it up for the next 25 years. And on that 25th year, when your child is born or something happens, you have a blessing of the Lord. See, I'm telling you, God will multiply what that 1,000 people do. You need to, if you don't have a job, don't just sit like that for a long time. Go to war. But even if you don't go to war, the Lord will still bless you. This is the mercy of God, This is the mercy of God. Even if you don't do that job, God will still bless you. Because of other people, your father is going to war, your mother is going to war. But when you do go, you can be a source of blessing. Amen. You will be like a tree. A desirable tree is a tree which has fruit. And when they see that tree, you will give shade to many people. You will give fruit to many people. Your wood will be put to good use. Amen. You got it? How many of you understood what I said? Even if you don't go to war, the Lord will bless you. Okay, so don't be discouraged, thinking I don't have any talent, my age is over. Don't be thinking like that. God will still bless you. He'll find somebody who can represent you. He'll find somebody who will go to war for you. But you are young. The other people who can say, you know what, I will be among the 1,000 people. You guys go to war. You guys go and fight.